Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Don 773 TV. You're definitely in a place to be. Y'all make sure y'all mash that like, share, subscribe. Today we talking about these reports coming out of Chicago about HIV cases being on the rise after years of decline. So we're gonna have to dive into it, chop it up. Y'all drop in the chat. Let me know where y'all tapping in from. Yeah, I'm already seeing online exactly what I expected. The usual suspects, people joking, people blaming the FBA community, people reacting off headlines instead of actually looking into the facts. And that's what we doing here today, y'all. We jumping into the facts. We're gonna look at the reporting. We're gonna look at the numbers. And like I say, we're gonna dive into some actual facts. So the first clip I got right here, let's dive into it. Let's check it out. Oh, I can't hear nothing, family.
Story not too long ago.
All right,
we're
here
going
we
to shift
go.
gears and get a little bit more serious here for a second, because this is a serious topic that we want to talk about. So we are seeing, and I saw this story not too long ago.
Y'all listen.
That Chicago is seeing an increase in HIV numbers, particularly among Black and Latino communities.
Particularly amongst Black and Latino communities. That's what that guy just said. So, when people see headlines like that, Black and Latino residents, that's how the headlines is being framed. And that's exactly how people get misled with these broad statements like that. So before we run with that, let me pull up something else. Let me pull this up for the family. Hold on, y'all. All right. So I got another, a better report to check out. So before we run with this narrative, I just wanted to play that clip for y'all, so y'all could just see this is how this is being framed, the Black and Latino community. So y'all check this out. This is a more thorough report. I don't know why all my clips are muted. I'm sorry, y'all. And it's still muted.
Of declining HIV.
That now this never happened before. Now we loading and stuff.
For the first time in decades,
we're having a real issue. Now my videos are jumping back and forth.
For the first time in decades, HIV infections are on the rise.
I'm sorry, family. I don't know what's going on. I done lost.
Now, this is another headline that we are following for you tonight. After decades of declining HIV rates,
y'all check this out.
Chicago are rising yet again. The number of cases have been creeping up since 2020, according to a Sun-Times investigation examining
creeping up
data.
since
but city health officials
2020
is happening mostly among Hispanic Chicagoans, even as rates for other racial groups continue to drop. To break all of this
Did y'all hear that?
Explain this trend is Dr. Andrew Crone from Howard Brown.
Other racial groups are dropping. Chicago has been trending down for years. That matter. Because if something was going down and now it's going up, the real question is what changed? Not jokes. What actually changed? So let's continue.
Health. Thank you so much for taking time out for us tonight.
Hello.
Well, let's talk about this. The Sun-Times article says that in 2024, there were 818 new HIV cases and nearly half are among Latinos. Why is it that the Latino Chicagoan population is being impacted more than any other groups?
Yeah, so I think Elvia Malagon did a really nice job highlighting some of the problems that particular population is facing in the city. And it's in combination of a lack of resources in prevention, and also connecting people with treatment, and also the migrant population coming into the city. So we're getting people here in Chicago who have never maybe been tested for HIV before and are learning for the first time that they're HIV positive. And some of those patients may have a very poor understanding of like what HIV actually is. Another thing is making sure that the patients in the Latino population here in Chicago have access to prevention resources, particularly HIV PrEP or pre-exposure prophylaxis medicine. It comes in pills and long-acting shots. And when people are taking this medicine consistently, their risk of getting HIV through sex is dramatically decreased. Nothing's perfect. It's pretty darn close though. But getting the word out that that medication is available to patients and also that there's a way they can get it affordably poses multiple challenges. One of the things that was I was quoted for in the article is that we see these patients come in, especially people who are undocumented in the city of Chicago, who want access to these resources, but now more than ever are scared to come in and get them for fear that there might be some kind of retaliation against them. Or they might be exposing themselves to.
Now they're trying to say they're scared to come in because of retaliation, because of ICE. Listen, that's some drag. Them people had that shit when they came over here. They came over here for the free health care and everything else. The ICE situation only has been in effect the last couple years. The years that's been reported on are the Biden administration years. So what are we talking about? The chart you guys are going to see are from the year 2020 to 2024. So what are we talking about? Well, let's continue on.
Risk of having to leave the United States.
You know, Doctor, I know you mentioned access there. Howard Brown definitely has been on the forefront of making sure that people have access. Can you talk about what you're doing there to maybe help with these trends and bring those numbers down?
Yeah, so we have multiple clinics in the city, mostly up and down sort of the red line, but we also have a location at the La Casa Norte Resource Center in Humboldt Park that services a large Latino population. We really want to make sure that people know that accessing HIV testing and prevention medication is affordable to them. So we do have, we'll take care of any patient that's regardless of their insurance status, and also we'll make sure that
they letting you know
HIV prevention
they still
that they can
capping for the immigrants, the migrants, whatever you want to call
various programs that are available both through the state of Illinois,
the legal immigrants, because this is not a shot at the legal immigrant.
Community testing in various places in the city, like we also have Brown Elephant testing, where if a patient is interested in PrEP, Brown Elephant is our consignment shop. If a patient is interested in PrEP, then they can be connected to an appointment to get tested. And we have various community events throughout the city. So it's just making sure that people have access to the resources to know that they can get tested and treated. Another big population that we care about is people living with HIV. You know, when we look at nationwide statistics, about 1 in 10 people with HIV here in the United States don't know they have it. And so making sure that people get tested and connected to treatment, because if someone living with HIV is taking their medicine, they can live a healthy life that is, you know, largely free of problems or disease. And also, if someone living with HIV is taking their medicine appropriately, they can't pass HIV on to someone else. So we really need to look into how we can connect our Latino Chicagoans into a system where the people living with HIV get taken care of, so they prevent spread, as well as people without HIV know the access to resources so they can protect themselves from the infection and get routine testing beyond that. Because some populations are always going to be at risk based off their behaviors and habits, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's no value judgment on how we live our lives, but we need to make sure that those people have access to protection from the negative outcomes of that.
Very well said. I want to go back to something that we just mentioned.
Get them back to the nitty-gritty.
The undocumented population, but this uptick really started in 2020. Was there anything else happening during that time period that would have led to more cases?
Yeah, I mean, COVID really is something that we'll see
this narrative about COVID. That's some drag. What we seen in 2020 was an uptick in illegal aliens coming over to the country. Let's address the real issue. Y'all like to tiptoe around the real issue. It wasn't no damn COVID. People was in the house. Let's listen to his excuse though, because there's some bullshit.
Reverberating effects from in healthcare for a long time. Huge disruption in access to people who normally would
Straight
seek it
drag.
pretty readily. When suddenly going out of the house or going to a healthcare center poses this whole additional risk, then that's not something that you're going to do. I mean, people who were previously taking HIV PrEP medication stopped taking it at that time. People weren't coming in for routine testing, and then getting people back on board with those habits is something that, you know, we're still trying to focus on. So that's really the main thing there. But also, you know, with the way migration and habits changed in terms of people getting connected to HIV care, so that's been a long time building.
Meaning a lot of those people came over here with that virus.
With HIV, if someone doesn't have health insurance and they're of a certain income level or lower, they qualify for government-based healthcare insurance, which can allow them not insurance, but government-based healthcare drug coverage specifically for their HIV medications and related disorders. So we want those people to still be connected to care so that they prevent the spread of HIV to other people as well as they're healthy themselves. Anecdotally, I had a Latino patient who's undocumented who, once we connected, he was diagnosed last year. I was there in clinic. We did a rapid test. He found out that day. We started him on medicine.
He
that
didn't
day.
even know he had it.
Was
See
really
what
good
I
about
mean?
following up and staying connected, but then he lost insurance through his job. He was undocumented. We talked about getting him signed up for government assistance, and he really did not want to do that because he didn't want to risk, you know, potential ramifications from putting that information about himself.
They
out
rather
there.
die about it
Something that could
than go
largely
to
be
the doctor
avoided
and
if
risk
we
being
had,
deported.
System that was a little bit different. Another thing I want to bring up. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Doctor, we're running out of time here. I wanted you to give folks that may be watching the website if they want to learn more.
So yeah, that was that, man. I want to show y'all something though. So look at this. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Let's read exactly what it say. Latino / Hispanic. It says Hispanic. 17%, almost 16.6%. Black numbers down just about 5%. Whites, 7%. So let's stop right there. We see the chart. We see the numbers. The numbers don't lie. This is not some across the board issue. The increase can be traced directly, the numbers and the group, to one issue, and I believe it's that illegal immigration issue. And now they want to make headlines talking about Hispanic community and Black community. No, our numbers are down. And it gets even worse when you break it down like this. Y'all see where it say Black? They are grouping all of us. Foundational Black Americans, Black immigrants, Black illegal immigrants. We're all lumped up into that one group. So if they get to removing those Haitians, Jamaicans, Africans, man, do y'all know our numbers will go down drastically? So we're snowballed all together when you see Black. Man, please. So yeah, these are broad categories, and y'all remember to watch these headlines because they're trying to create a narrative. Because on social media, I've been seeing people joking, oh, y'all went to Houston. Y'all brought that shit back from Houston. Laughing and all this. And when that's not even the case. What's really going on is some of those migrants that made their way through Houston and then jacked our numbers up. That's what then happened. People just be talking, man. Don't take the time to look at the data, because if you actually looked at the data, you will see black numbers are actually down. So I'm trying to figure out, why are they dragging Black Chicago into this like we the face of the problem? That don't even match the numbers. And y'all are helping create a narrative that the Democrats will run with when y'all on the internet cracking jokes talking about, oh, y'all brought this from Houston and this, that, and the third. Because we got people outside of Chicago putting their spin on things. Anton Daniels. I want to pull up a clip from him. Yeah, he had a lot to say. A very surface level argument he was making. But I'm going to pull it up and let y'all check it out. Every clip I pull up, muted. Then they make me skip it. I'm sorry, family. I really don't know what's going on right now. Why this doing this? All right. Let's unmute it.
HIV infections on the.
Let me get y'all to the minute mark, man. All right, here we go.
Thing about this is they're only a portion of the population, but continue to be the majority of the new cases. And
he's a dickhead. This is a jackass
that they know of. There's a ton of people that never get tested, they never get discovered, they don't go to the doctor. And so when you see this,
what are you talking about?
Two caveats to this, right? A, this is just the most recent.
So first off, he's framing it as if the Black American community is the problem. This guy's a dick. Like he's a real fucking idiot. If you do your due diligence, sir, check out the numbers and see what's really going on, you will stop just running your mouth. Let's continue on and listen to this fucking idiot.
Data, but it's still at least a year old, right? Because we still freshly into 2026. They've only been able to measure 2023, 2024 compared to the years prior. And then you also have to factor in, we still got to get the 2025 data, which I'm pretty sure that it goes up much more from
what's thick. He literally throwing shit on the wall. These numbers, sir, are from 2020 to 2024. And once again, if you did your due diligence, you would know the numbers in the Black community are actually down, jackass.
There because people were back outside, and a smaller portion of the population in Chicago versus the majority of the cases, which basically tells you that everybody is just humping on everybody, and it's never going to be cool to find yourself out there with HIV. I remember when Magic Johnson had announced that he had HIV, and all of the players in the NBA was a lot more skeptical about even playing with him, because we as a society were largely unfamiliar with how you even transmit it. Now, people have a choice. You have a choice of if you want to engage or participate.
Man, I really can't even take no more. I was gonna let some more play, but this guy just is a prime example of people just getting on the internet, and it's a class of people that get on this internet, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, different spaces, and they just get on here to bash Black people. We don't know about Anton Daniels. His background is still shady. We don't know if he FBA or not. Even if he do come back from an FBA background, this nigga's a coon, flat out. He didn't even try to do any research about this. He just jumped online and talking about niggas fucking and everybody humping and this is how this is going on. No, sir. your episode would have been totally different if you wouldn't actually did your research. Because like I said, you see these numbers right here? You see black? Our numbers are down. You see who numbers are up? Hispanic? 16.6%. But you ain't had time to even look up an article. You just jumped on the internet to bash Black Chicago. Man, what my people from Detroit at? My people in Michigan, man. Who the fuck could vouch for this clown, bro? Has anybody vouched for this goofy? Like, who the fuck is Buddy? Like, for real. Man, he wrong. I can say he made a statement about, you know, the alternative lifestyle. And you know that adds to the numbers. But that's just one aspect. Like I say, the numbers don't lie. Black Americans, the numbers are down. And if you take those others that's snowballed in with our numbers, the black immigrants, the Africans, Jamaicans, Haitians, if you take those numbers off, our numbers go down even more. So stop with the bullshit and pushing narratives, you fucking clown. His whole argument is surface level. My bad, chat. But yeah, his whole argument is surface level. Because he making it sound like this just random behavior. People just around here just having sex, running rampant across the city. Yeah, we got degenerates out here. Every group has their degenerates, has what they got going on. But man, look at the numbers, look at the stats. People ain't walking around here all up in the clinic around here looking for no HIV medication. That shit is running rampant in those alternative lifestyles. And as we see, they've open the floodgate and let unlimited numbers of these people, because the number on the Latino side actually is higher, because the guy already said it. A lot of them don't want to go to the doctor because they don't want to be deported, risk being deported. So yeah, the chart told us already. Latino numbers are up, black numbers are down, white numbers are down. So no, this is not just everybody in Chicago out here doing anything. That's lazy. That's skipping the data, Anton. You can't just see a headline and freestyle the rest, you fucking dummy. Do your due diligence. Look at the numbers, check the stats. Don't just run with one headline, because I started this with a clipping from another network, and they started off talking about black and Latino communities. They started off lying in the dough. Now let me talk about the real issue. The leadership. The policies that allowed this to even be a situation. Because let's be real, the sanctuary city policies, these democratic policies, man, this is what happened. The floodgates were open. They let these people in these cities, and now we're seeing the results. The numbers don't lie. The Hispanic numbers are up. That's what the data shows. And now the Democrats need the answer for this. And when these numbers came out, who they try to drag into the conversation? Black Chicago. Nah, y'all got to stop that. Stop dragging us into this smut. Every community has a lower level element. Every single one. So don't signal us out like we the problem and our numbers are actually down, when the data clearly shows otherwise. Like I say, even us being snowballed in with the black immigrants, our numbers are still down. So yeah, I'm raising that question directly to the Democrats, to the leadership, to the people running this city, because this didn't just happen overnight out of nowhere. Policies created these conditions, and now we seeing the outcome. So yeah, this is not no joking matter. People all on the internet talking about they went to Houston. No, because when you get to doing that, you helping them create a narrative. And that's not even the case. The numbers don't lie. So yeah, my question is, why is Black Chicago being dragged into this HIV conversation when the numbers show otherwise? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. It's Don 773 TV. Church, we out.